Hey, what's going on, guys? Rabid Tiger here, and we are back with Who's Take. Sorry I missed a day. I actually, yesterday being the day I missed, but I actually fell asleep at like 6:30, which was ridiculous, and just slept forever. So, kind of nice to be back here and doing a Who's Take. So, if you recall, last episode, Ignite talked about who was his biggest inspiration, and he explicitly said his brother and all that good stuff. And so he asked me, who's my biggest inspiration, and this was actually question 41 on that list of questions I was doing, which I plan on finishing that list eventually. This is not going to be the episode for that, but we will finish that list in another episode when I don't have another idea to talk about. But going off of his, who was my biggest influence, I guess it was, or maybe inspiration, I don't know, something along those lines. The general idea. Mine's not as straightforward as his. I can't just say one person, because it's kind of changed through life, if you will, and a lot too. It's kind of interesting. So I had parents, and I guess my mom could be one of the biggest kind of inspiring people, kind of help guide me along my way, whatever you want to say or whatever. So she helped, but in later years and earlier years, it wasn't really that way. My parents are divorced, so I never really saw him in general, so he's not really it either. And my sister and I were close, and we don't fight. We're actually roommates in college right now, but other than that, I mean, I don't really say whatever I want to her. And I mean, it's gotten closer in like the last year or so, a lot closer than it used to be, but it actually kind of just recently took hold of being like that. So it's kind of interesting. My answer to this is like multiple fold, if you will, in the sense that it's not just one person by any means. It's actually kind of been shifting throughout the years. I know at some point through life it's been Ignite, even like there's been things that just even he'd influenced me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So like I'm saying, it's actually, for me, it's shifted throughout the years constantly. Like it's rarely stayed just one person for a long period of time, which is kind of odd, and I'm not entirely sure why it's that way, but it's interesting, I guess, to think about how it's really kind of a hard answer for me or a hard question for me to answer, because like I said, it's been so many different people as I'm turning on and off my night vision for whatever reason. It's been so many people that I don't really know what to answer to it, and at the same time, by being so many people, it hasn't really been anybody, if that kind of makes sense. So it's kind of interesting. I don't regret that or anything like that, and I failed at a spin here. And speaking of the gameplay real quick, I actually don't do all that well in this one. Well, 24 and 16, but I die a ton. I couldn't really streak for some reason, and I kept dying a ton from a camper who is in that other house over there. You'll see it eventually, but you missed the first 3 kills. I got a triple kill, and I forgot I wasn't recording this game. I think it was a triple kill. So, and then I started recording, but I thought it was still a decent gameplay, and I figured I'd play with it just because I love the MP5. But anyway, back to the idea. It's really, like I said, I think the best way to sum it up is that there's been so many people that there really hasn't been any person that's been my influence, I guess, and there really hasn't even been one person. Like, it's odd. It's kind of I'm more self-driven, and I don't really necessarily have that person, if you will. It's kind of a very interesting situation, but it is what it is, and we'll move on, as I really wanted to pistol that guy and just was way late. But moving on, I want to kind of pose, okay, so let's have an episode where we can just rant, and it's going to be one rant. Ignite, you get one rant, and my rant is going to be about inconsiderate people, and what I'm going to rant about, and this kind of going to sound a little ridiculous, but it's also very funny, so my apologies if I start to laugh during it. But I am in a film class in which we have 3 hours of film, of just watching film on Wednesday nights, which is all good and dandy. And so this last Wednesday we were in film class, and we had a quiz, which was nothing hard or anything, and the guy next to me obviously thought it was very hard, but he wasn't the most studious student, if you will, which is kind of odd that he's in college, but whatever. And so he didn't do all that well on it, whatever. We get to screening movies finally, and we're watching the first movie, and everything's pretty good, and it's an interesting movie or whatever. And he decides he's gonna pull out a thing of potato chips, like just a bag of potato chips, one of those personal sized ones like you get from like Subway or something. Pulls out a bag of those and starts chomping away, and he's ridiculously loud with this bag. Both, like, it's a dead silent theater as people are watching. He's ridiculously loud eating the chips. He's also ridiculously loud getting the chips out of the bag, and just ridiculously loud in general. And so he finally finishes the bag, and I'm just kind of like, oh, I can finally actually watch the movie or whatever. And we take a break in between movies or whatever. He gets up, he comes back, whatever, you know, the normal stuff. We get going on the second movie, and about 10 minutes in, he pulls out another bag of potato chips, just out of the blue, another bag of potato chips, and starts chomping down on those. And by then, I'm just like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, is this really happening? I can't believe that you have 2 bags of potato chips, and you're chomping away on the potato chips ridiculously loud. Like, at least try and be discreet about it instead of, you know, crumpling it constantly, getting a chip out. Ridiculously annoying, inconsiderate beyond all belief. I mean, we're all trying to watch a movie here, and you're too busy eating your potato chips. So, ridiculously inconsiderate. I've had many inconsiderate people over this year already. Just like, they take up the entire seat and the seat next to you, the one that you happen to be sitting in. They'll lean over, or they'll spread their legs really wide, and so their leg will be bumping yours constantly, or they'll be shaking the knee or something. And it always ends up bothering. So it's just, when people are inconsiderate like that, think about what the people next to you are thinking about. Like, if you're going to be writing or whatever, and you need more space than just like the sitting in the chair and having your elbow straight up and down, if you need it at an angle so then it's going off like yours and over to the next person and bumping them each time you're writing, then sit on an end seat. There's a reason the end seats are there. So kind of a little rant about that. I'm ridiculous. I can't. Some college students, you know, are very considerate, very nice or whatever, and then other ones are just completely oblivious to the fact that there's a person sitting next to them, and they'll just take over your entire area, and you just kind of sit there uncomfortably as you're trying to take your notes and focus on the class. So be considerate, people. This was a rant about it, just because it was super annoying. I really just beyond belief, just annoying. And I could not kill this guy in this stupid house for any reason either. He's just camping that house doing beast on me in that house for whatever reason. But that's going to be pretty much it over my topic. So Ignite, go ahead and rant one topic to us, one idea that really kind of has pissed you off over the last few days, or, you know, that you just feel the need to rant about for whatever reason. It can be anything really. So I'm kind of interested to see what you have to rant about. And I'm trying to find this guy in here, and I'm like, oh, maybe he'll come out there. No. But yeah, any topic you have to rant about, anything you feel the need that needs to be spoken about. You know, mine was just being about considerate and inconsiderate classmates, and should have just thrown C4 up there. He's sitting there waiting forever. But you know, if you have any rants that you want to take on anybody, you know, any type of rant, I figured we'd just do a rant video, get it out of my system, you know, that type of stuff. It kind of helps sometimes. But there he goes, finally coming down, and he actually almost killed me. Well, not really almost killed me, but because of my C4. I know it's so immature, but I got that little teabag in on him. I do that occasionally when I kind of get pissed off at people in the game too for camping like that. So, you know, it's my fault for going back there time and time again. I should have just left him alone. But, you know, when you find a camper, you really just want to stop them from camping, and so that was my bad for going to killing him again. And we are 2 kills away from winning, 1 kill away from winning. I don't know if I get the last kill or not. I think somebody else does. Oh, I die. Okay. Oh, that was from the camper. So that was the same guy as the camper. 1 random grenade. Just threw it over the side of the mountain. They're still 1 kill away from losing. So we're 1 kill away from winning. Dude. Oh, yep. So I didn't get it. So somebody got sniped. But I finished 24 and 16, like I said before. Not the best, not the worst, but you know, I love Call of Duty 4, and so I'll always go back and play it a little bit. But with that, guys, peace out.